So we all know the Apple, basically the brand Apple, which is a multi-trillionaire brand having its own prestige and stuff. And when it comes to the Apple, Apple is also innovating in a lot of different sectors. Basically, apart from their vision and stuff like that, Apple's iPhones, the watches, even the headphones, each and everything are been so having its own way of talking, right? And there are some crazy patents which are been so kept silently, and they have been basically kept aside when it comes to seeing over it. And these are some futuristic looking patterns at a first glance, but there are some things which has been evolved from these patterns, or some good facts type of stuff over here. These are some facted patterns of the apples. We're going to be talking about them in this today's video. So without any further ado, this is Captain Yaros. You're watching Chaos and Yaros. Let's get started. Firstly, the AR glasses by Apple. See, this is not a Vision Pro type of stuff. It is kind of a say having some of the things which were similar to the Vision Pro. At a first glance, they are basically dedicating itself with a lot of architecture and stuff. A lot of things such as the 3D mapping and each and everything which can be done via from your visions. You don't need any another screen. It was been so designed for that glasses. These glasses were initialized as a full lens, as if a name of a method of representing points of their interest in a view of a real environment on your smartphones. And basically you can carry it with a normal and smartphone with their own battery and a lot of stuff. But by the time we have a lot of advancement and stuff which happened, and now the Vision Pro, which might be having a lot of new capabilities and stuff, will be having this stuff on the top of it. So it's kind of crazy based pattern. But AI glasses have been so coming apart from a 2016 perspective, when the time was even eventually when the iPhone 6s was been so planned. Kind of crazy. We all know that the Apple don't have, or you can say the Apple iPhones don't have a in-display fingerprint scanner or something like an in-display touch ID. And Apple was kind of curiously planning when a lot of Android-based devices came around with this technology. Basically, at a first glance, when Apple planned this stuff, it was kind of a going with the ups and downs. They wanted that the full screen which should be having a capacity of the fingerprint scanner, and a fingerprint scanner can't be fitted in the complete full screen, and the display might be getting a lot of unrelated stuff on the top of it. So they designed a kind of a different type of pattern with the three different layers of the screens in between of them, and a kind of a thicker layer of what we are able to see the screen. So it was kind of say a patternized and a really different perspective. But in a while, it didn't quite appealing and stuff like that. We might be able to see in the future. It's hard to hear that under display touch ID and stuff like that. But currently we are having a under display fingerprint scanner which it doesn't affects a lot, but it quite peeling, or you can say blends in with our screen. But in future, if the iPhones comes, it might be different than usual. So we all know the Samsung's desk monitor, which if you are using the Samsung Galaxy S series, the Z series based smartphone, then you might have experienced that when you come it when you plugged in with the Type C port and plugged the Type C in your display, or you can see the monitor and stuff like that via from HDMI or anything, or you can see take a display output. That there might be an option or notification which might be popping up for the Samsung's desk monitor support. Basically, it converts your smartphone into a simulated monitor experience, which is kind of say very different and hard to believe. A lot of different brands such as Motorola had done this type of stuff. But Apple, when the Samsung desk was getting kind of evolved, they also planned something like that. That the iPhone will be completely powering a MacBook, which is kind of hard to believe. Basically, this pattern shows that the pad which we are having on our most of the laptops will be getting removed, and the shell MacBook will be given as if a price point and different rates will be plugging in your iPhone, and it will be going ahead and powering the complete MacBook system. But at a first glance, the battery and each and everything makes a lot of sense at that moment, which didn't make any quite appealing success. But in future, when the LTPO display and stuff might be getting more enhanced, we might be able to see a MacBook getting powered full-fledged by from an iPhone itself. And we have seen a smartphone which is kind of similar to this pattern. I'm talking about the Razer based laptop which they have designed with the Razer phone, and when you plug it in, it connects via to the laptop itself. Just kind of is crazy. And there are a lot of shell laptops which are available in the market. Basically, shell laptops are the laptops which have each and everything but not any motherboard or dedicated CPU, GPU, memory, and stuff like that. So it connects via from a power, and also connects via from a built-in battery, something like that, and it will power itself. Kind of crazy and a cool looking innovation. If you know a lot about the shell laptops, then let us know in the comment section down below. The next two are basically dedicated for the Apple Watch. Basically, at a first glance, when you take a look at the Apple Watch, it is full of having a lot of feature, a good amount of storage, a lot of good enhancement with the processor, a lot of good sensor. But at the end of the day, we need a snapshot to take. Then there is not a single camera on the Apple Watch. And there are a lot of different rated watches coming around with the watches with the camera on the top of it. But why not the Apple added? Apple designed a pattern to add camera for the watch itself, which is kind of a say hard to believe, but at a first glance, it is quite a different looking watch. Watch with the camera. It is a kind of say, you have to drag out your basically the camera for taking your snapshot, something like that, and it looks quite weird with this pattern that you have to pull out your camera, then put it back in and something like that. But at the end of the day, that is a camera for the pattern. Also, if you know the solo loop which is available on our Apple watches, it was been designed previously in the past when Apple was going ahead with the self-adjustable band, quietly similar with the solo loop, something like that. The solo loop is having a kind of say, when you wear it, it will go around and stretch it up itself and adjust as per your wrist. Something similar with this guy. It is a self-adjustable watch band, kind of crazy but similar to the somewhat solo loop. Apart from the MacBooks, watches, and stuff like that, Apple also designed a kind of say a small sensor which can detect the poisonous environment and stuff like that. This was a kind of say patentized, but there are different types of, I believe that there are different types of poisonous air which is hard to calibrate and hard to identify, which might be having a hop on with this guy. But this guy was been so patentized, and it can, if you um, completely cover your home with this sensor, it will detect when, where, what it is, and it will let you know on your smartphone. Somewhat similarly, we might be able to see in the air purifier and stuff like that. This might be the part one where we have talked about this some of the patents. If you are interested more about them, then let us know in the comment section. Basically, there are a lot of patents which are been so seen around and talked around. I'm gathering some info about them, and if you are interested more about them, then let us know in the comment section down below. Such as the Apple was also working upon the smart clothing manufacturing and hub like that. Also headphones and a lot of different stuff, such as a foldable iPhone was also been so seen, or not the same but in talked around. But if you are interested in that, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you don't know, Apple is one of the brand who previously in one of the year have one of the lot of patents, one of the biggest brand to have some sort of more than patents which were even registered in a complete world. Kind of crazy enough, and Apple has its own identity in a lot of prestige around the world, which might seems to be happening with this lot of different patents. For more amazing connect like this, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, gonna be appreciating our work, and stay safe, stay connected. Peace out.